everyone, I hope you're all well. In transformation videos, you usually get the before and they go over, how they want to look, how they looked before, all the issues and things. And honestly, that kind of thing bores me. I'm one of those people who skips to the end of the video to see the after. So this is the after. That was the before. If you want to see more, you can watch any of my old videos. It was long, it was thick. It's been like that for quite a while and I'm loving it now. We've got fuchsia or kind of hot pink in the front. And then at the back here, this is like a rose gold colour. I'm not sure how well it's showing up on the screen there, but it's not as natural as it's certainly looking in my display. My entire head right now is pink. I'm loving it. And the reason it's pink is because I volunteered to be a hair model yesterday. Basically, somebody in the salon was entering a hair colouring competition and she needed pictures for her portfolio to send to the judges. So she coloured my hair for free. And then we took photos and she sent them away, and fingers crossed she does well because I'm so impressed with this. I saw the amount of work she went into, so I really hope that they see that too and that they award her accordingly. So today I wanted to speak about what it's like to be a hair model. This is actually my third time, and any hints and tips that I can give to anybody who's maybe thinking about becoming a hair model too, and I hope you enjoy. For those of you who've never heard of hair modeling before, it's not the same as in a magazine where you see the actual models with the hair all fancy and things. If you see your local hairdresser or salon saying hair models wanted, what they're probably looking for is somebody to come into the salon and get a cut or a colour or a style that's going to help them practice for actual paying customers. Sometimes it's free, sometimes it's for a reduced fee, but I've always found that it's a bargain. But it's only a bargain because I'm quite open to what they do to my hair. If I went in and I wanted blonde highlights yesterday, I probably would have been very upset with this. So you really need to manage your expectations as a hair model. You're not there as a paying customer, you're there to help them. And what they want to do should override anything that you want to do. Although everybody that I've been a hair model for so far has been so sweet, so kind, and they've taken into account what I want as well. For anyone who's never been a hair model before, you might be thinking, isn't it a little bit terrifying giving your hair over to somebody who doesn't know what they're doing? But honestly, it's not as bad as you think. When it comes to trainees, they've been practicing in the salon or in college or a combination of both. They've been practicing on mannequins like the plastic head dummies. They've been observing what their colleagues do when it comes to certain hair. They've been asking questions, and this is basically them building up their expertise and practicing their technique on real people. It's really just that they can build their confidence so that eventually when they are taking customers, they know what they're doing. And whenever they've been doing my hair, there's always been somebody nearby who's there to give them help and advice and make sure that everything's going okay. They come over at key points and they make sure that my hair is looking how they expect it to look, is looking like the thing that we're doing is going to plan basically. And I'm pretty sure I wouldn't be allowed to leave if they'd done a totally horrifying job and it could not be fixed, because everything can be fixed if you just give it some time. Yesterday when I got this done, we didn't have anybody supervising because the lady who did this for me is already a master at colouring, and she didn't need anybody showing her techniques or anything like that because she knew what she was doing. She did decide to ask the opinions of her other colleagues, is this a nice colour? Should we go for this colour? Should we try this technique and things? But it was more just their opinions. She wasn't looking for them to say that she was right or wrong in terms of technique. It was more just a creative, would you go in this direction? Would you try this kind of thing? And that was really interesting to see how she involved her colleagues in it as well. And if any of the trainees asked her what she was doing, she was running through with them, I did this, and now I'm doing this so that it looks like this, which I thought was really good. If you're thinking of being a hair model, you definitely need to be open to new ideas, and you definitely need to be patient as well. They're needing to practice something specific on you, or they're needing to do something specific on you, and if you disagree with that, they don't have to be open to doing what you want to do instead. Like if I'd said to my stylist yesterday, I really just want some blonde highlights, then she probably would have asked me to go home, because that's not going to win a competition. She's looking to do something edgy, something fun, and she was looking to take photographs of it as well. So she was specifically looking for somebody who'd be okay to change their hair up, and somebody who was totally comfortable with taking loads of photos like as well afterwards. Like she wasn't looking for somebody to just go home and be like, no photos please. You need to be there to help their needs and to meet their needs. If you go in and you say, oh, I just want a one length cut and they need to practice layers, either you need to be open to the idea of them doing layers, or you need to go. They're not there to give you a free haircut, they're there to do training. In terms of patience as a hair model, you need to be patient in terms of time, because it's going to take longer than your average haircut. And you also need to be patient in terms of what they're doing as well, because these are trainees, they're focusing on the task at hand. They might not always look confident with what they're doing. They might be cutting your hair and pulling a face, or they might be forgetting to ask how you are, or they're not too chatty and things. Honestly, that all comes with expertise, and they need to make sure that they're doing the hair properly before they start chatting about whatever they want to chat about. They're still learning, you need to be patient with them, and I'm sure in a couple of years' time, if you went back to their salons, you would see them absolutely owning it. Like, they do a good job, they honestly do. But they may be lacking in certain skills, or they're lacking the practice and things. So just be patient with them, they're gonna get there. Being a hair model can also take longer than being a regular customer as well, because certainly when it's a trainee you're dealing with, they have to go and ask somebody to make sure that they're doing it right, they have to ask for tips and things, they're sometimes talking them through certain techniques, they might not do something right the first time, so they need to do it again. You need to be patient in terms of time taken as well. What I like to do is I like to clear out my day, or at least a few hours after what I'd expected to take, just so that I can give them all the time that they need and we're not rushing at all. And if anybody's wondering, this took 6 hours yesterday, and that was a combination of consultation, of cut, of colouring, and then we needed to take photos as well. So we got makeup done, and then we went out and took loads of photos and things. So you're basically doing a job for them. It's not going to take the same amount of time as being a customer would. Would somebody expect to be here for 6 hours for this? Probably not. But there was extra steps to the process, and you need to be patient with them. And, you know, like basically if you're available all day, that just means that they're not rushing as well. Another question I can imagine people have is, how do you find out about these opportunities? And I found out about a lot of them through Facebook. It was maybe one of my friends who's a hairdresser sharing something, or I've maybe seen the Facebook page of the salon saying we're looking for hair models, and in one case there's even a secret group where the trainees post every week and say, I'm looking for this, I'm looking for that. So it's really just stuff like that. If you know anybody who's training to be a hairdresser, you can ask them. If you're going to the hair salon, you can ask them. Every salon works differently. Some of them might just put up a poster in the salon, or they might just ask the regulars. It really just depends. They might just ask friends and family. It sometimes feels like a bit of an inner circle thing, but certainly if you know where to find it, these opportunities are available, and certainly in my area at least, they're available regularly too. The last thing I wanted to talk through before I went is the progression from my original hair to this. And I've had to actually pull up the photos because I can't even really remember myself. So I went into the salon and this is what my hair looked like. We took some before pictures, and then she started to dye it. So she'd done this kind of rosy gold tint first. Whether it's a tint, I don't even know. I don't know the lingo as well, so do excuse me. It kind of reminded me of, you know, when you get bubble gum stuck in your hair, it kind of felt like that. It kind of looked like that, and that kind of made me laugh. She put some foils on that back bit, and then she started bleaching the front, and she was like, it's gonna look weird, it's gonna look a bit like Eminem's hair for a while, but don't worry, it's going to look fine. So then I had to kind of sit there for a while with my hair just like that. That was for about half an hour. She gave me some magazines to read, and then she went and washed it all off, and that's what it looked like at one point. And we were laughing because we were just like, oh my gosh, like if there was a fire right now, I would be going home looking like that. There's nothing inherently wrong with that, but it's not what I envisioned and it's not what she envisioned either. Like, I had very kind of gingery bits at the back, and then at the front it was like white, yellow kind of thing. Yeah, that was a look. So then she started doing the fuchsia in the front, and then I had to kind of sit and let that dry for a while, and then that got washed off, and then we done a cut. And then after that, one of the trainees came and done my makeup. I, at this point, honestly didn't even look like myself anymore. I looked like some kind of Love Island contestant. I absolutely love that look, but I just don't have the patience for that on the day-to-day. And then we went out and took photos. The other thing, I don't know if you saw it in the photo, but what I really love as well is I can have my hair like this, and there's a very big difference between this and that. It's like almost like a streak. But then if I brush my hair like this and tie it up, it becomes more of like a gradual, like it's not as harsh. So I think I'm going to wear it like this to work, and hopefully they won't notice that it's bright pink at the front, because that feels like a lot more natural to me, and then you can kind of blend in the two, which looks really nice. So I hope that's answered any of your questions about hair modelling. If you have any more, if you want to chat, leave it down below in the comments. And I'd really appreciate it as well if you left me a like, just to let me know that you enjoyed this video. I'd really appreciate that. And thank you so much for watching, everybody. Cheerio. Thanks again for watching, everybody. If you'd like to watch another video, I have some suggestions here and here. And don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date with all my new adventures. Thanks again, everyone. Cheerio.